Yeah.
Good afternoon. I am Benjamin Frost, and today I will be talking to y'all about the proposed wind energy project. So my role is Summit Mining representative and landowner. So coming from that standpoint, here are the points that I will be reviewing. We'll be reviewing the pros and cons related to my own opinions on whether or not to support this project, and then the ultimate reasoning behind my decision whether or not to support. Keeping in mind the codes and legislation that I heavily referenced, not only the ones required referencing, but also the Kern County Zoning Ordinance, Chapter 19.100, Surface Mining Operations. Also heavily influenced codes 19.04.823, 19.73.120, Development Standards, Development within the KRC District. So these codes essentially defined what my role was, but also helped define what the other roles were and what the requirements and constraints are for each business. So the first subject on the docket today is the pros. So benefits for supporting this project, or at least reasons why I shouldn't necessarily oppose it, lies mainly with there is no real conflict of interest in the products that both the companies are making, at least coming from Summit Mining Corporation. So by that meaning wind energy, or this wind farm is producing wind energy, while my business mostly represents the mining of aggregates, soils, and rocks. So things used in construction, not only heavy but minor construction. So given that our products are completely different, there's no conflict of interest in that point. Therefore, there's not necessarily any substantial reason to oppose that based off of that. One of the heavy benefits, not necessarily just reason not to oppose, but a benefit of supporting was the potential cooperation within the businesses. So reading the ordinances for the wind farm, they require a substantial amount of concrete to build the foundations for the actual turbines. So being that my company creates aggregates are used heavily in the creation of concrete. So we can offer them discounted prices on that, and maybe in return we can get discounted deals on energy that we can use for facilities and machinery. So those are the main reasons for supporting. Now for the reasons to oppose. So the biggest and really only reason to oppose is competitive land. So being that my business deals in land, so not only is it the taking up of land, but it's the consumption is land as a resource. The lack thereof could be considered a conflict. So that being, while we do have conflict of interest as far as product goes, the conflict goes with land consumption. So in a sense of, if they take that land, that is land that we can no longer use for our own corporation. Going along the lines of that, the leases for the land are only temporary within Kern County. So the land that we have is only temporary. So when we want to repurchase new land or use new land, that land will be unavailable to us because it's being used by the wind farm. That being said, there are stipulations on renewal of the leases. Therefore, going into my final point, the reasoning why I chose my decision ultimately is to support the construction of this wind farm. The implications, the soft benefits, are essentially the potential benefits aren't necessarily guaranteed, nor are they solid. While the cons, or in this case singular, main reason to oppose is that is a hard line. If the wind farm is established, that land will no longer be in use. That being said, the company is well off, and if we can get some sort of deal, the benefits could potentially help the company more than the costs. So my own personal decision based off of my experience as the Summit Mining representative is to support the project. I can reason by looking at other people's roles that if it is a corporation, similar reasonings have been deduced. Most of the people I've seen, against have been more for environmental or ease of life issues. So from a corporate standpoint, I support this project. So I've talked to y'all about the pros and cons of this wind farm as relative to my own experience and my reasoning and support for the project. So if y'all have any questions, please leave them in the discussion board, and have a great day.